Hello. How are you today? I hope that you are well and good. Welcome to another episode of the RKMCS Criminology Lecture Series. This presentation is the collaborative effort of RKMCS with the Special Operations Training Institute, Applied Criminology Association of Agents, Bomb Technicians, and Investigators, with the support of One Hit Training Group Philippines. I am Security Guard Never Sleep. I am an explosive ordnance reconnaissance agent, and certified counter-terrorism specialist. As your chosen lecturer at the moment, I am tasked to talk about bomb threat awareness. This is an important and timely topic for everybody. This is so because of our current security needs. Our objective in this presentation is to empower ourselves to become more vigilant, and to enhance our level of situational awareness at home or work, in the neighborhood, or wherever we are, against the threat of bombing incidents and IEDs. As a backgrounder, we should be familiar with the concept of situational awareness and vigilance. Our SOTI training director, Rommel Man Wong, once said, "The most suitable way to deal with any kind of security threat is to be critically aware of our surroundings." That was the point he was making when he talked about critical environmental awareness. That's why we have to be alert. Vigilance is an elevated form of watchfulness and cautiousness. The moment we practice critical awareness and vigilance as a habit, we win a powerful tool or weapon for us to detect and prevent any unfortunate event around us. Now, before we proceed further, here are some security thoughts and perspectives on bomb awareness. Number 1. Security forces encourages every citizen and establishment to be constantly prepared against bomb threats or bombing incidents. Number 2. Through security, we can reduce the accessibility of our properties and identify those areas that can be hardened against a potential bomber. And number 3. Security measures can reduce the threat of panic and decrease potential injury and property damage, in case a bomb incident happened. Next, let us see how aware you are of your surroundings right now. Quickly, name your 5 senses. That's easy, right? Sight, smell, hearing, touch and taste. Try to make an observation. Try to use your 5 human senses. Do you find anything unusual that poses a threat to you? Or any unsafe conditions? How about these? Are these bombs? The bold letters said bomba. Do you think these are bombs? Or are these the kind of bombs we are talking about? These are the kinds of bombs we are talking about. As you can see, there are military munitions and grenades. There are also dynamites, and various types of IEDs or improvised explosive devices. Now, it is important for us to know and understand the basic definition of terms. First, what is a bomb? A bomb is a device capable of producing damage to material and injury and death to people when detonated or ignited. Bombs are classified as explosives, which causes damage by fragmentation, heat and blast wave, and incendiary, which generates fire-producing heat without a substantial explosion when ignited. The term is derived from the Greek word bombos, which means boom. Normally, a bomb has 4 chief parts, namely, 1. Case, which is usually made of steel and contains the explosives. 2. Fuse, the one that causes the bomb to explode when desired. 3. Fin or tail, that stabilizes the bomb during flight, and 4. Arming wire, that keep the fuse from being armed until after the bomb is dropped. There are 3 general classes of bombs, which are explosive, chemical, and practice or drill bombs. Explosive bombs includes the following. 1. General purpose or GP bombs. These are used against unarmored ships or ground targets for blast or fragmentation. 2. Semi-armor piercing or SAP bombs used for targets that are sufficiently protected as it have penetration capability. And 3. Fragmentation bombs, which are smaller explosives dropped in clusters against troops or ground targets. Next is chemical bombs. Chemical bombs are those that contain specialized chemical agents that are used for a specific purpose. They contain chemicals that designed to kill or disable enemy personnel. Some examples of these are mustard gas, phosgene gas, tear gas, and vomiting gas. Included under this class of bombs are the so-called incendiary bombs. Those containing a mixture of gasoline or jet fuel and a thickening agent, are a form of chemical bomb that produces intense fire when ignited and are used against troops and ground targets. Then the third class of bombs are practice or drill bombs. These are group of bombs intended for training that may be loaded with sand or water but are inert, meaning it does not carry any explosive, and will cause no damage other than simple impact. Another term that we need to define is explosive. What is explosive? Explosive is a reactive substance that contains a great amount of potential energy that can produce an explosion if released suddenly, usually accompanied by the production of light and heat, sound and pressure. An explosive charge is a measured quantity of explosive material, which may either be composed solely of one ingredient or by a mixture containing at least two substances. Explosives are a family of low explosives and high explosives. Low explosives are mixtures of chemicals that burn very rapidly, but not supersonic. In other words, they only deflagrate. Deflagration is burning of combustible material at a speed lower than speed of sound, usually lower than 1000 meters per second. They consist typically of fuel and an oxidizer. A good example of low explosive is black powder used in fireworks. On the other hand, high explosives are those that produces supersonic speed, meaning they detonate. Detonation is a phenomenon whereby the decomposition of matter is propagated by an explosive shock wave traversing the explosive material at speeds greater than the speed of sound within the substance. The shock front is capable of passing through the high explosive material at supersonic speeds, typically thousands of meters per second. High explosives are further categorized as primary high explosives such as lead azide, and secondary high explosives such as PETN and RDX. Now, let's talk about other important terms in this presentation. One is the word bombing. Bombing occurs when an explosive bomb detonates or an incendiary bomb ignites. Number 2. Bomb threat. An information or warning claiming knowledge that a dangerous device, such as a bomb or similar type of explosive, has been or will be placed in a building, aircraft or other facilities. And 3. Bombing incident. Any occurrence involving the detonation or ignition of a bomb, the discovery of a bomb, or the execution of a bomb threat. The photos shown describe how dangerous is bombing, a bomb threat or a bomb incident. They sow fear and panic to people, destroy properties, and worse, they even cause death. These are the primary reasons why we should be concerned about bombing, bomb threat, or bomb incident. Our common goals, as a society, are: Number 1. The prevention of loss of lives and properties. Number 2. The protection of the community from danger, and 3. The maintenance of peace and order. These goals are the broad goals of public safety and security, which are also the primary mandate of the police, the fire personnel, and all other public safety and security units. But be mindful that these goals cannot be attained without the awareness, the vigilance and support of the people or the civil society. In other words, public safety and security is the concern of everybody. But why do bomb incidents happen? What are the usual reasons behind these incidents? Our analysis of past bombing incidents shows the following common reasons or motivations. Number 1. Act of terrorism. Bombing incidents are carried out by terrorists to pursue their terroristic goals. In terrorism studies, terrorists are usually motivated by political or religious ideology and ideological differences. Number 2. Criminal reasons or motivations. Bombing incidents are used by criminals as a means to perpetrate their crimes, such for instance the case of hate crimes. A hate crime is a prejudice-motivated crime which occurs when a perpetrator targets a victim because of their membership of a certain social group or race. Number 3. Wanton acts of destruction. Bombing incidents are used by vandals to destroy properties or by wanton individuals who disrupt events or social gatherings. Number 4. Other varied reasons. Bombing incidents may be committed by varied reason of like that of mental deranged individual who commits terroristic act due to such mental incapacitation, or by other various motivations such as extortion, blackmail, or just simply a hoax. Now, who are and what are the common target of bombing? Generally, the target selection process of those who engage in bombing incidents depends, to a great extent, on their motivations. For terrorists, their human targets includes political figures, government officials or other very important personalities. They also target critical infrastructures, vital installations, vital entities and vital utilities. Criminals have also human and things as targets. By their criminal inclinations, they usually select things and events, or a specific group of people by race, ethnicity, language, religion, gender or sexual orientation, nationality, etc. Others may target properties, social events such as a campus or university activity, church gatherings, business activities, and the like. But regardless of motive, anything in the environment can be a target. The cyberspace is a target, humans and animals are targets, properties, things and events or a combination of these are potential targets of bombing. Again, if we go back to my previous statement, that security and safety is everyone's concern. No one can be exempted, as a victim, when such incident happened. Next, what are the tools used in bombing incidents? While bombs, either in the form of explosive bombs or chemical bombs, are used in bombings, the majority of the past bombing events shows the use of IEDs or improvised explosive devices. It has been discovered that IEDs are a common tool in most bombing incidents happened locally and abroad. An IED attack is the use of a homemade bomb and/or destructive device to destroy, incapacitate, harass, or distract. IEDs are used by criminals, vandals, terrorists, suicide bombers, and insurgents. Because they are improvised, IEDs can come in many forms, ranging from a small pipe bomb to a sophisticated device capable of causing massive damage and loss of life. So, what are the components of an IED? For easy recollection, remember the acronym SPICY. S for switch, P for power supply, I for initiator, C for container, E for explosives, then another E for enhancement or enhancer. IED consists of a variety of components that include an initiator, switch, main charge, power source, and a container. IEDs may be surrounded by or packed with additional materials or enhancements, such as nails, glass, or metal fragments designed to increase the amount of shrapnel propelled by the explosion. Enhancements may also include other elements such as hazardous materials. An IED can be initiated by a variety of methods depending on the intended target. Some bomb threats are perpetrated by way of telephone call, or by text message. Some are made in letters or notes delivered either personally or through the mail system. Packages intended to mimic or represent bombs, including backpacks, luggage, bags, or attaché cases. While electronic bomb threats may be made over websites, email, or social media. They can also be made face-to-face. Some of the most common IED delivery methods are 1. Placed by hand. 2. Driven to the target. 3. Hand-thrown. The deliveries by an unwitting carrier can be sent through government postal service, private courier, commercial delivery carrier, carried by a friend, relative, acquaintance, or even just a paid stranger. An effective IED can be contained in anything from a backpack, fruit basket, parcel, handbag, motorcycle or automobile. Once more, an IED can be initiated by a variety of methods depending on the intended target. The common methods of initiation are 1. By time. The functioning of device caused by the elapse of a specified time period, such as a time bomb. 2. By action. An action by the victim causes the device to function. And 3. By command. An action by the perpetrator causes the device to function. As to the configuration of an IED, it is really dependent on the maker or creator. The design of homemade explosives or IEDs are endless, it is only limited to and by the imagination of the bomber. The technical know-how and mastery of skill by the bomber is the key to unlock the IED system and configuration. IEDs can be anything from weaponizing drone, vehicles, watercraft, aircraft, or simply by way of a booby trap. When it comes to the effects of IED explosion, the extent of damage caused by an IED depends on its size, construction, and placement, and whether it incorporates a high explosive or propellant. An explosion in or near a building or public transportation venue may blow out windows, destroy walls, and shut down building systems such as power, ventilation, fire suppression, water, sewage, and others. Exit routes may be disrupted or destroyed, and smoke and dust may travel upward through stairways and elevator shafts, making navigation difficult. A known bomber tactic is to use a distraction, such as gunfire, small bombs, or other surprises, to attract bystanders to a window, a doorway, or outside, and then to detonate a second destructive device at the gathering point. In an attack, there may be bombings at multiple locations. Rescue efforts can be hampered by the need to respond to more than one site. The explosion of a bomb can cause secondary explosions if gasoline, natural gas, or other flammable material is ignited. Secondary hazards that result can include fire with possibly toxic smoke, disruption of electric power, ruptured natural gas lines and water mains, and debris. There can be loss of traffic control in the area of the blast with possible traffic accidents involving fleeing citizens. Explosions create a high-pressure blast that sends debris flying and lifts people off the ground. The type of injuries and the number of people hurt will vary depending on the physical environment and the size of the blast, the amount of shielding between victims and the blast, fires, or structural damage that result from the explosion, and whether the explosion occurs in a closed space or an open area. Injuries common to explosions include 1. Overpressure damage. 2. Fragmentation injuries. 3. Impact injuries. 4. Thermal injuries. And 5. Other injuries such as exposure to toxic substances. So now, what shall we do to protect ourselves and others from IED attack or bomb threats? Security experts always say this number one rule, which we call the first concept. The number one way to protect yourself and others from an IED attack is to be alert to your surroundings. Advanced technologies help police and other authorities detect possible dangers, but an even more effective tool is to encourage individuals to be alert for, and to report, anything that is out of the ordinary in their daily routine. Examples include bags or boxes in unusual places, unusual smells, and suspicious behaviors such as someone dressed in a heavy coat in summer. Again, and again, security is everybody's job, literally. Vigilance begins with you. Security concept number 2. Remember that there is no such a thing as absolute security. We always say that nothing or no one can ever be made 100% secure. This is so because there is no impenetrable barrier. Even if you have the most sophisticated integration of security system, given enough time, tools, skills, and inclination, an attacker can break through any security measure. So that even safes or vaults, for instance, that businesses commonly use to protect their assets, can still be penetrated or breached. Next, security concept number 3. All bomb threats must be treated real even though it appears to be a hoax or a joke. Never under or overestimate any bomb situation. Bomb threats should never be ignored, rather should be taken seriously. Sometimes, an angry customer will make a bomb threat as a joke, but the possibility, however slim, that a bomb threat is real should not be ignored. You should always treat bomb threats as genuine and act accordingly. Proper precautions and a swift response could save lives. Besides, a bomb joke or false bomb threat is punishable by law, under Presidential Decree No. 1727. Next, security concept number 4. Remember the no-touch rule. Never touch or move is suspected IED or bomb. This is a rule of thumb in dealing with bomb threats because of the possibility that you will trigger the bomb to explode. Remember the 3 T's in handling bomb threats: touch, triggers, tragedy. Next, security concept number 5. When you see it, say it. This is the suspected item rule. Any liquid, solid and gas which looks like it is connected to a single or series of connections just like an explosive train. Remember, if you think it does not belong in your area, it probably does not. It is suspicious, do something about it. It can be difficult to determine when to report something suspicious. People most familiar with a given environment are in the best position to determine whether or not something is out of the ordinary. Use common sense, and follow these guidelines. 1. Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, don't ignore it. 2. Do not assume that someone else has already reported it. 3. Call local authorities. 4. Keep your distance from a suspicious package, do not approach, do not touch or tamper with it. Next, security concept number 6. Preventive security is always the best option. Be proactive than reactive. This is the application of risk analysis in bomb threat handling. Before the question of security can be addressed, it is first necessary to identify harmful events which may befall at any given enterprise. In the context of security management, security plans and programs can be effective if it is based upon a clear understanding of the actual risks it is designed to control. Next, security concept number 7. Human errors create security holes. In the security chain, personnel security is the weakest link. People have varied behaviors, thus with varied views or perspectives. People commit mistakes, and oftentimes, they do not learn very much from the lessons of history. People become fatigued, frustrated or may suffer from negative emotions. These negative emotions result in security and safety failure. Likewise, complacency is a serious and dangerous human weakness. This is why management must strike a balance between security and freedom. so that all employees are subject to check, search and background investigations. Management must hire the best person to manage security functions. Next, security concept number 8. Should a security incident occur, leave it to the proper authorities. When at any moment a bomb incident happen despite all security measures are well taken and considered, it is best to leave it to the proper authorities for incident management. Number 1. Bomb disposal is the responsibility of the bomb squad or the EOD personnel. They are trained for this purpose. Number 2. Any search made by security personnel is limited only to detection, isolation, identification and immediate reporting of suspected items to the proper authorities. Number 3. In responding to a bombing incident, be aware of the secondary devices. Next, security concept number 9. As threats evolve, so do we. Remember that bomb threats or just any security incident are costly and disruptive to business and social living, thus they must be managed effectively. But risks are evolving at fast pace. So, as threats and risks evolve, so must the security profession. The security profession has always been in constant state of evolution too. But then again, we must continuously innovate. Finally, security concept number 10. Security is power, power is security. As the saying goes, knowledge is strength, wisdom is power, only when shared. We believe too, that knowledge creates or brings about security. In the context of national security, when our most cherished values and beliefs, our democratic way of life, our institutions of governance and our unity, welfare and well-being as a nation and people are permanently protected and continuously enhanced, we are considered powerful. In conclusion, bomb threats and other security incidents are alarming. We are experiencing these events almost non-stop on a monthly scale in this country. We also experience the devastation and damages they caused on our economy and our way of living. All of us are affected. Even women, children and the elderly are not spared. Any one of us could be a victim of bomb blast anytime, anywhere. So it is important to know about bomb threats and their protective and preventive measures. Once again, self-awareness, situational awareness, and public vigilance are the strongest shield we can use against security threats. That ends my presentation. And I would like to thank you for watching and listening. I hope that you learned something from this short lecture. Please share this video to your friends, especially to your students, your employees and staff as well. Keep safe.